What's going on, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers made a trade this morning. We got the latest on the Juan Soto rumors, Shohei Ohtani rumors, some other stuff we're going to get into. But first, for all the latest Dodgers news and rumors, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, I want your takes down below in the comment section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day. Call your shot. Predict where Juan Soto will be traded. Will it be the Dodgers, Padres, Cardinals, other, or will he remain on the Nationals? And would you be okay with the Dodgers gutting their farm system for Juan Soto? Let me know down below. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So it's going down. MLB trade deadline week is here. I think schools should be closed. I think it's a national holiday, and we could see some serious fireworks at the deadline. But first, one of the biggest whales that was rumored to be available, who the Angels were listening to offers for, is not going to be dealt at the deadline. It is going to be Shohei Ohtani for the rest of the league. The Angels will keep Shohei Ohtani despite listening to offers from other teams. The Dodgers, they inquired. The Padres, they inquired. Well, John Heyman, he tweeted out, breaking, Angels have decided to keep Shohei Ohtani. Yankees among teams to make an offer, but Ohtani will stay. So we won't see the Showtime Dodgers this year. We won't see the Beatles of baseball. But hey, I guarantee you the Dodgers will be in the mix to potentially sign him when he becomes a free agent after next season. So Artie Moreno, if you want to run your organization deeper into the ground, so be it. Yes, he does sell jerseys. Yes, he does sell sponsorship. But look, I just checked right now, and the cheapest seat for an Angels game is $6. Beers at an Angels game are more expensive than tickets to get in. So, and look, I'm not even an Angels hater. I actually follow them pretty closely. I just think they should have more success than they're having. They've made the postseason just one time since 2009, and that was in 2014 when they got swept by the Kansas City Royals. So the bottom line, Shohei Ohtani on the Angels is bad for baseball. Free Shohei, and we'll see if they look to deal him in the offseason. But the Dodgers did make a trade. It's not a big-time trade or anything like that, but this morning they did trade left-handed reliever Garrett Clevenger to the Tampa Bay Rays for outfield prospect Erman Tapia. A very young guy, 18 years old, born in 2003. He's 6 feet tall, 170 pounds. In this summer in the Dominican Summer League, he has a .952 OPS with 2 home runs. He has 23 walks to 17 strikeouts. So really, it's not a move to even really try to replenish the farm system. Maybe he works out one day, but this is really a roster crunch move by the Dodgers. They currently have 8 players on the 60-day IL. You have Dustin May and Edwin Rios that are on track to return, and we'll see what the Dodgers do at the deadline. So frees up a spot on the 40-man roster. So I know that deal didn't get Dodgers fans very excited. It didn't break the internet, but a deal that would be if LA could land Juan Soto. He's won in a million since the start of the 2020 season. His 175 OPS plus is first in all of Major League Baseball. His 21.4% walk rate is also first. His 18.4 O swing, which is swings outside the zone, is first. His plate discipline is all-time great. He is on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and the childish Bambino could shake up the entire league if he's moved at the deadline. So where the Dodgers stand? Well, you have the Dodgers currently still in the mix, and Bob Nightingale, he tweeted out this morning, while the Padres and St. Louis Cardinals have been considered the frontrunners for Juan Soto, the Dodgers have been much more aggressive of late in their trade proposals. Now, first things first is break out that Dodgers rumor meter, and for this rumor that has the Dodgers being more aggressive for Juan Soto, I'm going to give this a 3 Dodger dogs. I definitely think and know that there is some smoke here. Look, I talked to one of the top Padres insiders over the weekend. He had a very interesting theory. I'm not going to name his names, but his theory is that the Dodgers are almost baiting the Padres to trade for Juan Soto to drive up the price to gut their farm system. And I think it's an interesting theory, but my theory is, look, yes, that could be true, but at the same token, the Dodgers realize that, one, the Padres could be very dangerous if they are able to land Juan Soto, and 2, they could be virtually unstoppable if they got him in Dodger blue. So while I do think there is some of the price driving up by the Dodgers, I also think that they would want them on their team as well. And then you consider the fact that the Padres Padres just a few minutes ago, they landed Josh Hader of the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the highest profile relievers in the league. Yes, his ERA is over 4, but if you look at his xFIP this season, if you look at his strikeout rate at 41.8%, the velo is still there. His big issue this season has been the home runs. The home runs have skyrocketed this year at a 1.48 home runs per 9. So Josh Hader going to the San Diego Padres, and they got a big haul in return. Now, will A.J. Preller, who is one of the most aggressive GMs in the league, he's like some psychopath day trader, some Wolf of Wall Street guy that's just going crazy on moves. Well, the Dodgers, they're cool, calm, and collected. You know that Andrew Friedman only speaks when it's time to yell checkmate. So the Dodgers, I'm sure they have an offer in, but A.J. Preller is being very aggressive for Juan Soto. Preller's basically Palpatine in Star Wars, ordering the Order 66 every offseason, every trade deadline, trying to overhaul his roster, and that's going to be a lot of work for a wild card series loss. But what did Ken Rosenthal say in The Athletic about the Juan Soto sweepstakes? He wrote, the Juan Soto sweepstakes are rounding third and heading for home with the Padres and Cardinals in the lead, and the Dodgers somehow staying in the conversation. The Padres have made all their top prospects available, including outfielder Robert Hassel III, shortstop C.J. Abrams, and outfielder James Wood. The Cardinals are ready to part with outfielder Dylan Carlson and infielder Nolan Gorman to headline their package. Meanwhile, the Dodgers are still engaged in conversations with Washington and have no untouchables in their farm system, including right-handed pitcher Bobby Miller, catcher Diego Cartaya, and outfielder Andy Pages. So, there you have it. There are no untouchables when it comes to Juan Soto. You heard all the big dogs available, and to me, that's no surprise at all whatsoever, because what we see last year, the Dodgers, they flipped their top 2 prospects for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. So it clearly appears that the Dodgers are, at the very least, still in the mix. They're one of only a handful of teams that are in consideration to trade for Juan Soto. And look, when I was on the field covering the All-Star game, I asked Ken Rosenthal point blank, I said, hey, are the Dodgers going to trade for Juan Soto? And here's what he had to say.
Dodgers going to trade for Juan Soto? My man.
So the lesson there is, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And we had a great conversation before that, and I'm going to post that at some point this week. But the Dodgers clearly still in the mix for Juan Soto. I think the big question now is, one, are the Nationals actually going to trade him? Based on some of the reporters that I've talked to that cover the Nationals, they still have their doubts. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen, because they're in a great position to get a big haul for Soto. And look, if you can get a massive Godfather offer, a deal that they can't refuse, that has multiple top prospects, maybe some big league ready talent, maybe a team that's willing to absorb the remainder of Patrick Corbin's contract, which is at $59 million, maybe you just have to pull the trigger, even though you don't want to be the team that trades away the childish Bambino. You don't want the curse of the childish Bambino on the Nationals. And look, he has more value when you have 3 postseasons versus 2 postseasons. He has 2.5 years of team control. You're talking about a player of Juan Soto's caliber at age 23. Every team's going to want that. But to me, when you look at what Castillo got, 3 of the Mariners' top 5 prospects for Luis Castillo for a year and a half, I mean, what could you get for Juan Soto? So to me, I think the deals are going to be outrageous. The market is absolutely out of control right now. And look, the reality is we've never seen a player dealt at this age with this much team control in Juan Soto. So it's really going to be an unprecedented haul potentially for the Nationals. And the other big caveat here is, does this ownership group, the Lerners, do they want to trade him before the ownership changeover? Because they're in the process of selling the team. And do the new owners want Soto and want to deal with it themselves? Do they want to try to keep him, try to convince him to stay? Do they want to trade him for their guys? Or do they want the current owners to deal with the Juan Soto situation before they take over and say, hey, you go and do the dirty work. You take all the backlash for trading one of the best players in the game in his prime, and have this on your reputation that you trade away the core of that World Series winning team. And if you're this new ownership group, imagine if you're a multi-billionaire, you're this new ownership group that buys the Nationals, and the first order of business is trading away Juan Soto. That's not a way to endear yourself to the fan base. So I think the other flip side, like I mentioned earlier, though, is the fact that, hey, you want control, you want a chance. A lot of billionaires, they have a lot of pride. They think they're God. They think they can do everything, and maybe the pride of a new group will say, hey, we can find a way to convince Juan Soto to stay. Maybe we'll play play it out for another 2.5 seasons. He's going to sell tickets. He's going to sell jerseys. Kind of a lot like what Shohei Ohtani does for the Angels. You know, he's a great player on a bad team. You know, the Bugatti and the whatever house type meme. And then you say, hey, we'll profit from that standpoint. And then when he walks, we say, hey, we tried to keep him. We offered him money, and he just decided to sign elsewhere. I think that might sit well with the fan base, but I think the savvy fans will realize that you lost him for nothing when you could have gotten a treasure trove of prospects that could have helped rebuild and build a sustainable winner down the line. So the smart thing for the Nationals to do is realize that Juan Soto is going to test the waters no matter what. He's represented by Scott Boras, so you know he's going to hit free agency, and barring injury, he is going to sign a contract in excess of $450 to $500 million. Are you going to be willing to pay that? Probably not. Is he even going to want to re-sign with the Washington Nationals, or does he see himself in a bigger market like Los Angeles or New York or one of these marquee franchises around the league? So I think that it would behoove the Nationals to move him, and I think now would be the time, unless it's complicated with the ownership groups. But yeah, I mean, lots of rumors circulating when it comes to Juan Soto at the moment. Jeff Passan has said that he thinks it's going to be one of the two Southern California teams, the Padres or the Dodgers. John Heyman was just on the MLB Network just now, and he thinks it's between the Cardinals and the Padres. Are the Dodgers sitting right there and just trying to drive up the price like one of the Padres insiders told me over the weekend? We'll see, but don't ever count out the Dodgers, okay? Like I said, there's no such thing as a pipe dream for the Los Angeles Dodgers because they have the prospects, because they have the big league ready talent, because they have the financial resources to absorb a bad contract. They also have Andrew Friedman. Look, the Dodgers weren't supposed to have Freddie Freeman or Mookie Betts or any of these guys, Trey Turner or Max Scherzer, but somehow they ended up in Dodger blue. But I asked the staff here at Dodgers Nation to predict where Juan Soto will be traded, and here were some of their takes.
I'm not buying all the smoke that Juan Soto absolutely has to be traded this season. They can wait. They got 2 more years of control. Do the owners want to do it themselves? Do the new owners want to do it? There's a lot of reporting both ways. I'm just not sold that they have to make a deal right now.
I think he stays with the Nationals. I don't think they're trading him.
Juan Soto looks like a Yankee, guys. Let's just all come to fruition with it. He looks like a Yankee. I can just see him in the pinstripes. Sorry to say that, Dodger fans, but Juan Soto might be a Yankee on August 2nd.
Now, for me, I don't want to get your hopes up too much. You guys know I keep it 100 with you guys at all times. And remember, I told you they were going to sign Trevor Bauer, and at the time that was seen as a major coup. I told you they were going to trade for Scherzer and that they were going to sign Freddie Freeman. This one I don't feel in my bones as much. I don't feel that strong about this getting done for the Dodgers. And you also consider the fact the Padres and A.J. Preller, they're just desperate to make a move for a big-time player. Look, A.J. Preller is willing to trade all their prospects. He's willing to trade the San Diego Zoo, SeaWorld, the Channel 4 news team. He's willing to give it all up to get Juan Soto down in San Diego. And I think if you're the Dodgers at this point, they do have to kind of be careful. They do have to navigate their farm system. They also have to realize they've achieved so much success with this current group. They also need to address some pitching issues that they might have. But like I said, everything is on the table. All bets are off when you're talking about a player of Juan Soto's caliber. What do I always say? Parades over prospects, right? And if you can get Juan Soto on your team, if you can have the whole entire pavilion chanting, "Future Dodger," you owe it to yourself. And as Andrew Friedman said, you owe it to your fans to try to explore that deal. So we'll see if the deal gets done. The Dodgers certainly have the assets to get that deal done. And look, the Padres, they just traded for Josh Hader. Well, Josh Hader, yes, the dominant reliever, has struggled at times this season. But hey, what happened in 2019, the wild card game? Hader, he didn't get it done against Juan Soto. Soto gets the base hit. You get the error by Grisham. So I think if you're the Dodgers, you make the ultimate move in getting Juan Soto. That is just going to break the internet in a big way. Now, prediction-wise, I wouldn't predict the Dodgers at this point in the game. I do think the Padres, Cardinals are probably ahead, but I do think the Dodgers have some trump cards if they want to play them. And we also know that the Dodgers and Nationals, they've gotten deals done in the past, and we know the Nationals really covet the Dodgers prospects. So we'll see what happens, and let me know down below in the comment section. What are your predictions? Where will Juan Soto be traded to? Will it be the Cardinals, Dodgers, Padres, or will he remain a National? NL? Is there another team in there that could sneak in there? Maybe the Blue Jays or a team like that? Let me know down below. My name is D-Mac. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. For all latest Dodgers news and rumors all season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see us post even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.